I'm Kat with a K, and this is Two Cats and a Movie Review. In case you didn't notice, Kat with a C is still not with us, but she did drop us a line. Isn't it beautiful? And she says she's enjoying her grand adventure and that something new is coming. Ooh, I can't wait for next month. Shall we continue our trip down memory lane?
And we have all come here today for the 3-minute review of Father Stew. If you're looking for a movie that makes you laugh, cry, and inspires you, look no further. Father Stew is based on the life of Father Stuart Long and how he went from being an average boxer to an aspiring actor to a Catholic priest. A strange transition, you may say, but life is full of the strange and unusual. Take this script, for instance. While this is a drama, it was full of hilarious one-liners. It does have a fair amount of profanity, but it fits the characters and it was not overpowering. Thank you for that, Jesus. Now, looking at the cinematography, it mimicked the behavior of our main character, which was a brilliant choice. For instance, in the beginning, the camera work was erratic, like Stu's character, but it calmed as Stu became more focused. Praise the Lord. And now, looking to the acting, oh, we find such splendor there. Mark Wahlberg believed in this project so much that he put his own money into it as well as portraying Father Stew. And his great performance as Father Stew is worthy of well done, my good and faithful servant. Mel Gibson was fun and honest as Stu's father Bill. The motherly love of Kathleen Long shone bright in Jackie Weaver's performance. And Teresa Ruiz embodied the love, frustration, and devotion of Stu's girlfriend, Carmen. We were pleasantly surprised to find Malcolm McDowell in the cast, and as always, he gave a superb performance. All in all, if you take one thing away from today, it's that you need to see Father Stew this year. The cat, please. We got that third cat so we could give Father Stew 7 paws. A local wizarding family has hired me to remove a groudle from one of their bedrooms. Come here, little. Oh. Yes, it can be quite vicious at times. Maybe if we leave it alone for a little while, it'll calm down. So this is your 3-minute review of Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. Just as Harry Potter got scarier as the children got older, let us preface, this is a movie full of adult wizards facing frightening and potentially deadly situations. Now that you have been warned, let's look at the wonderful script that J.K. Rowling created for us. She didn't have a book to go off of, but that never stopped J.K. from being incredible. She did an amazingly imaginative script, and we love to visit her imagination. And James Newton Howard wrote a beautiful score to bring this imagination to life. And the CGI that was needed to bring such fantastic beasts to life was impeccable. Now, let's look at the wonderful acting. Eddie Redmayne fully embodies the shy, quirky, and absolutely lovable Newt Scamander. Catherine Waterston and Alison Sudol were very believable as sisters that loved each other, if not a little bit quarrelsome with each other. And we can't imagine anybody else playing the gallant Jacob Kowalski except Dan Fogler. And we mustn't forget Ezra Miller's heart-wrenchingly good performance as the tormented Credence Barebone. This movie keeps you on the edge of your seat with fantastic thrills as well as beasts. So we give Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them 5 out of 5 paws.
And this is your 3-minute review of Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald. So let me preface again, this is not the wizard movie you let your 10-year-old watch. Even though there are fun creatures, it is far too full of adult problems and violent action. Having properly warned you, I now feel I can unpack this treasure of a film. We are getting deeper into the story as Grindelwald gathers followers, and both Grindelwald and our heroes try to find Credence. J.K. Rowling has a natural gift for not only telling a compelling story, but creating characters that take on lives of their own and are very relatable. Take Queenie, for instance, the tormented lover who cannot marry the man of her dreams due to magical American law. Alison Sudol takes this great struggle and brings it to life. Catherine Waterston and Eddie Redmayne do a brilliant job of relaying the frustrated infatuation Newt and Tina have for one another. Dan Fogler shows us the exasperation but also devotion of Jacob's character to not only Queenie but Newt as well. Ezra Miller perfectly portrays Credence's desperate want to know who he is and where he comes from. Johnny Depp as Grindelwald was an interesting choice, but not our favorite. However, Grindelwald's silver tongue did come across quite nicely in Depp's performance. We finally get to meet Newt's brother, Theseus, who is being played by Callum Turner. He does an excellent job, but he was a fascinating casting choice. Theseus is the older brother, but Callum is 8 years younger than Eddie. Such fun. Then we have Newt's childhood sweetheart, now Theseus's fiancée, Lita Lestrange. Zoe Kravitz was the perfect choice to portray the tormented Lita. And last, but by no means least, we have Jude Law as young Dumbledore. Dumbledore has always been a bit of a mystery, and Jude did a great job of relating information about the character while still keeping that air of mystery. The music was once again inspiring and timed perfectly. Good job, James Newton Howard. The mystery of who Credence is perfectly laid out throughout the whole film. And the new beasts we encounter are even more fantastical than the last. All in all, this is just on the edge of your seat fun. So we give Fantastic Beasts, Crimes of Grindelwald, 5 out of 5 paws.
And as you can see, yes, I'm being loved on by the cutest little Zipzok. I just caught him. So now on to your 3-minute review of Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore. Warning, not for children. Much, much darker than the 7th Harry Potter. Now that you've been properly frightened, let us move on to the plot. All of our heroes return, as well as a couple of new ones to foil Grindelwald. Though we only get glimpses here and there of the entire foil, the jigsaw that is this plot is masterfully put together. JK, you keep blowing our minds, and we love you for it. Alrighty then, so along with our new heroes, our returning heroes just happen to be Newt, Jacob, and Theseus. And of course, those actors are brilliant and continue to grow with their characters, but let's focus on the other members of our group. First of all, 2 of them we have met before, Yusuf and Bunty, but we get to know them a lot better in this film. Yusuf, who is Lita Lestrange's half-brother, is portrayed by William Nadlim, and William fully embodies the solemn yet powerful Yusuf. And Victoria Yates' interpretation of the lovelorn but completely devoted Bunty was spot on and brilliant. Now for a new face, Lally Hicks, our American Charms professor, who is played by the wonderful Jessica Williams. And Lally just happens to be more proficient in her magical skills than Hermione Granger. And Jessica added a serious sassiness and much needed hilarity to this film. Now for the Dumbledore clan. Now Jude Law, he's incomparable as Albus Dumbledore. And we were extremely excited to see Richard Coyle cast as young Aberforth. Richard never ceases to amaze. He's a very happy Zook. Now, Ezra Miller continues to raise the bar on his own portrayal of Aurelius Dumbledore. And Grindelwald, we were just elated that he was recast as Mads Mikkelsen instead of having Johnny Depp, whom we do love, but his portrayal was just a bit freaky and a little too erratic looking to be fully trusted. And Mads really embodies a well put together and silver-tongued wizard. Location, and these locations are exquisite, even if they are mostly computer generated. Brava. And James Newton Howard gave us hauntingly beautiful music to accompany a nail-biting script. Now, we saw very few new Fantastic Beasts in this film, but the importance and beautiful innocence of the Chilean more than makes up for it. We are enthralled with this series and just cannot wait for the fourth one. So we give Fantastic Beasts and the Secrets of Dumbledore 5 out of 5 paws.
This is your 3-minute review of The Bad Guys. So this has been a bit of a sleeper hit in the box office, and while we did find it funny, we did have some serious problems with it as well. As I said, it was hilarious, and I think that has a lot to do not with just good writing, but good acting. So we have Sam Rockwell as the ever cool and collected comedian as Mr. Wolf, Aquafina as the fun and sassy Mrs. Tarantula, Craig Robinson was hilarious as ever as Mr. Shark, Anthony Ramos was a surprisingly awesome choice as Mr. Piranha, and choosing to show off his wonderful singing skills was an added bonus. We hadn't really seen Mark Moran in a lot of stuff, but we really thought he was a perfect choice to play grumpy Mr. Snake. The animation style that was chosen added panache to a zany and kooky heist and chase scenes throughout the movie. And the music by Daniel Pemberton, he composed, it was just the perfect music for this movie. Now for the serious problems. In the books by Aaron Blabey, which are great, all of the characters are anthropomorphic animals, but in the movie, only our bad guys, the new governor, and our philanthropist are walking, talking animals. This was very distracting, and there was no explanation for it. The bad guys have to sneak into an event disguised as patrons, but they're the only walking, talking animals of their kind there. This makes no sense, and it leads to a second problem, portraying all of our cops as incompetent and negligent. Now, the chief of police, while giving us some good laughs, was completely overshadowed by the governor's character. The governor, Diane Foxington, her character is the perfect example of how woke feminism has infected everything. Her character is infallible and perfect, therefore unrelatable. Diane was the perfect thief, and one day she just decides she doesn't like who she is when she looks in the mirror, so she's gonna change. So she does, completely, with no struggle, and becomes the governor of the state in like a year. She is a good guy now, but she still keeps plunder and a lair from her thieving days. The bad guys need to pay for all of their crimes, but she doesn't need to. She's just an unnecessary character, and if you removed her character and gave the police chief struggles to overcome, it would have been a much better story. So we give the bad guys 3 out of 5 paws.
This is your 3-minute review of Jurassic Park. The movie is loosely based on the book Jurassic Park by Michael Crichton. While the characters in the movie differed greatly from those in the book, we could not imagine a better choice of actors to play them. Hammond is played by Sir Richard Attenborough, and he portrays him as being lovable and misguided. However, in the book, Hammond is a little bit more of a jerk. So we very much thank Santa Claus for picking up the mantle to give us such a wonderful Hammond. Sam Neill and Laura Dern made a fun and playful pair as Dr. Alan Grant and Dr. Ellie Sattler, which of course, in the book, they are not a couple. But in the movie, it was a nice touch to add this element of romance between them and the ever-comparable Jeff Goldblum as our smart and sexy Dr. Ian Malcolm. That little love triangle just added the tiniest bit of extras. Now, our human elements that are, well, the bad guys. Nedry, played by Seinfeld nemesis Wayne Knight. Oh, without Nedry's serious greed in the book and in the movie, none of the carnage would have ever happened. But then again, if B.D. Wong's character of Dr. Wu had never cracked the genome, none of it would have happened either. So we thank Dr. Wu for being blinded by I can and not thinking about should I to bring us such a wonderful story as Jurassic Park. Now, the cinematography was breathtaking, and with a location like Hawaii, how could it be anything else? The CG and animatronic dinosaurs were seamlessly switched between to create terrifyingly brilliant prehistoric creatures. Thank you, ILM, for pioneering this. All of this carnage is harmonized together with John Williams' brilliant score. And as great as the movie is, let's face it, the book is better. So we give Jurassic Park 5 out of 5 paws. And this is your 3-minute review of The Lost World, Jurassic Park. Now, this film is also loosely based on a book by Michael Crichton called The Lost World. Jeff Goldblum returns as Ian Malcolm. He's the sexy main character and the comic relief all rolled into one. Lots of new characters in this one, but let's just focus on a few of them. Julianne Moore joins the cast as Ian's love interest, Sarah Harding. This romance exists only in the movie, not the book. Because no movie is complete without a little romance. Now, I found Sarah Harding's character arrogant and annoying, but coming face to face with how dangerous these dinosaurs really are did humble her just a little bit. Good job, Julianne Moore. Vince Vaughn's eco-warrior Nick Van Owen was a great character. He's not a bad guy, but just happens to cause a lot of problems for us. Just as Nedry's greed caused the carnage of Jurassic Park, it's Nick's idealism that causes the chaos of the Lost World. Now for a bad guy, Hammond's nephew, Peter Ludlow, played by Arliss Howard. He is blinded by the money he could make instead of seeing the danger of bringing the greatest predators to ever walk the earth home to where the people live. His arrogant way of thinking that dinosaurs are like any other animal in a zoo mirrors Hammond's attitude in the first book, Jurassic Park. It was a nice twist to pull a new character out of an old one. The Lost World script would not win a Best Adaptation Oscar, but it still did a good job giving us the excitement and action of the book. I thought it was a very interesting choice to use Hammond's own company as the bad guys instead of the actual bad guys from the books, a rival company called Biosyn. I'm beginning to wonder if they really did bring dinosaurs back and that they all live in Hawaii, because of course that's where we're filming again. But it is a beautiful place, so I see the attraction. He's back, and he never ceases to amaze. John Williams composed the beautiful score that ties this terrifying tale together. So we give The Lost World, Jurassic Park 5 out of 5 paws.
This is your 3-minute review of Jurassic Park 3. This film is not loosely based on a Michael Crichton book because he didn't write a third Jurassic book. So we finally come to an original script that does a great job of bringing back the old things we love along with adding some new elements. Instead of bringing back sexy comic relief Ian Malcolm to brave the shores of Isla Sorna again, we kidnap Dr. Alan Grant. Of course, Sam Neill makes a great leading man, just not a super funny one. So they brought in a wonderful supporting cast, including hilarious William H. Macy and Michael Jeter. They also gave Dr. Grant a dashing assistant to be just a little bit more reckless than everybody else. Enter Billy Brennan, played by handsome Alessandro Nivola. And in true Jurassic fashion, there are always children along for the ride. However, Eric Kirby just happens to be the center of this Jurassic escapade. Without his killer survival skills, our second trip to Isla Sorna would have been far more depressing. Good job, Trevor Morgan. There's an extreme plot hole in this script. I have never understood why they chose to bring back both Ellie and Dr. Grant but not have them together. It seems an odd choice to me considering that by the end of the Jurassic Park, Grant actually likes kids and that was the whole obstacle in their relationship. And clearly, Ellie and Grant are still very close. It is thanks to Ellie's husband, who works for the State Department, that we get off the island, but it's not like they came in and saved our lives. They're just picking us up and taking us home. I think we could have thought of a better way to get us off the island that had Ellie and Alan as a couple. This has always puzzled me, but I digress. In the original Jurassic Park book, there are a list of 14 different species of dinosaurs. Pterodactyls are among them. And it's nice to know that they finally show up along with a terrifying new dinosaur in this third film. Let's talk raptors for a second, because no Jurassic film would be complete without them. These Isla Sorna raptors are no dummies. They track us, trap us, and just plain scare us to death. Thanks for making my nightmares more real. What can I say? Hawaii is a beautiful place to film, and of course, we're back there for a third time. So much to explore and so many dinosaurs to run from. The wonderful John Williams composed the original Jurassic Park theme song, which is used in every single film and will always be a part of tying together this terrifying world. But Don Davis composed the new score for this third film. So we give the third Jurassic Park movie 4 out of 5 paws.
And this is your 3-minute review of Jurassic World. Coming back into the world of Jurassic Park after a 14-year gap, we certainly had high expectations, and those expectations were met with roaring success. We find John Hammond's dream of a dinosaur park thriving. But as Ian Malcolm always says, nature will find a way. We have an accomplished new cast to start off the next generation of Jurassic. We have Owen Grady, Raptor Wrangler, portrayed by Chris Pratt. Chris brought humor and mad skills to Owen's character. Next, we have Bryce Dallas Howard as the completely organized Claire Dearing. Bryce brought elegance and tenacity to Claire's character, and the chemistry between Bryce and Chris was electric. No Jurassic movie would be complete without putting children we love in danger. Enter Claire's nephews, Zach and Gray, who are skillfully portrayed by Nick Robbins and Ty Simpkins. Now, we do have one familiar face. B.D. Wong is back as Dr. Henry Wu, the man with the God complex. Throwing this cast of characters together with just some dinosaurs wasn't going to cut it. We needed a great script, and that's exactly what Colin Trevorrow and his colleagues gave us. This movie is full of new ideas, like training raptors and creating scarier new dinosaurs. But it also pays homage to the original Jurassic Park movie in lots of fun ways. And giving us a raptor to fall in love with was truly inspired. We love you, Blue! We are once again on the beautiful island of Hawaii to film, but to be perfectly honest, I'm getting a little tired of the island. It would be nice if they mixed it up and gave us some new locations, but in all fairness, this is where it all started, so I digress. The pacing of the movie was sublime, and there were scares in all the right places. All of this was accompanied by a wonderful new score composed by Michael Giacchino. We laughed, we screamed, we jumped, and we cried. All in all, it was definitely worth the 14-year wait. So we give Jurassic World 5 out of 5 paws.
And this is your 3-minute review of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. The dinosaurs are back, but they are in grave danger. A volcano is fixing to return their status to extinct. Owen and Claire are also back, being portrayed again by the talented Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard. However, we find them in very different places. Owen is out in the middle of nowhere, building himself a wonderful cabin, while Claire is tirelessly fighting to save the dinosaurs with some new faces. Justice Smith and Daniela Pineda join our cast as Franklin Webb, our tech genius, and Zia Rodriguez, our paleo veterinarian. Justice was a wonderful comedic relief, and Zia brought a great snarkiness to the movie. Our new child in danger is Maisie Lockwood, portrayed by the talented Isabella Sermon. However, Maisie has a secret that puts a fun twist on things. B.D. Wong is back as Dr. Henry Wu, who just can't seem to learn his lesson. He has once again created a deadly dino, this time smaller and more intelligent. Will he ever learn? I really don't think he will. Then there was a wonderful surprise, the return of Dr. Ian Malcolm to once again warn us that dinosaurs with people is asking for trouble. Jeff Goldblum really embodies this character, and we love him for it. This script is full of marvelous on-the-edge-of-your-seat scares and heart-wrenching moments. But there are also some plot holes and just forced ideas. While the volcano and Hammond's partner are briefly mentioned in Michael Crichton's original book, neither have ever been mentioned in the movies, and we feel like they were a bit of a stretch to be the pivotal plot movers. There's also a terrifying chase scene with the new Indoraptor. Owen causes havoc at the auction with the Pachycephalosaurus, that was a fun touch, to make sure the Indoraptor doesn't escape the building. He is left alone in the room with the caged dinosaur and several large guns. Why didn't he kill it then and there? And if he didn't want to kill it, why didn't he tranquilize it? The whole sequence didn't make a lick of sense. The pacing of the movie was impeccable, as always, and accompanied by a lovely score composed, once again, by Michael Giacchino. Overall, it was a fun film, even if the storyline didn't completely make sense. We give Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom 3 out of 5 paws. And this is your 3-minute review of Jurassic World Dominion. It's time for Jurassic Park to meet Jurassic World. Enter our original cast, Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, B.D. Wong, and Laura Dern. All 4 of these actors are extremely accomplished and talented. Now let's look at our Jurassic World staples, Chris Pratt, Bryce Dallas Howard, and Isabella Sermon. Here we have 2 accomplished actors and a great up-and-comer. One more important character, Dotson, who's being portrayed by a new actor, the ever-charming Campbell Scott. You'd think with this auspicious cast and their array of dino survival skills, this would be the best Jurassic movie yet. Unfortunately, this is not the case. The things we liked about the script are the nostalgia, new dinosaurs, and seriously upping the scare factor. We jumped and flailed. It was so scary. I'll never go underground again. But there are too many nonsensical storylines, and they added woke feminism. Let's look at the woke feminism first. Why on earth is a paleobotanist studying locusts? Dr. Ellie Sattler studies extinct plants, not extinct animals. And the only reason Dr. Ellen Grant is in the story is because she wants him to be a witness and her purse holder. Then you have Maisie being able to somewhat control Beta, Blue's baby, when Maisie has only interacted with this raptor once before. Okay, now for some plot problems. In the movies, InGen have always been the bad guys, wreaking havoc with whatever they touch. What seems like a new company, Biosyn, is actually the original bad guy from Jurassic Park. Dotson is the original character who gives Nedry the shaving cream can. The problem here is what happened to InGen? And how did Dotson end up running the company? Too many questions. Now for something completely out of left field, Maisie is supposed to be the product of her grandfather losing his daughter in a car crash. We clearly state this in Fallen Kingdom. But all of a sudden, Catherine Lockwood is a scientist who worked at Jurassic Park, who wanted a baby so bad she created a clone, and then cured an incurable disease in that clone. It's like the writers think their audience is stupid and won't notice. We could go on and on, but we already taken up enough of your valuable time. So we give Jurassic World Dominion 2 out of 5 paws.
Well, there were some good ones and some not so good ones in there. All in all, not too shabby. We hope you enjoyed our show. Please let us know what you thought in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share. And check out our other videos. And until next time, keep searching for that perfect pick.